Welcome to this quick overview video of how to use WrestlingIQ with your school team, whether that's high school, middle school, or a rec team that doesn't have payment processing. First of all, I got to this page from WrestlingIQ.com, click Get Started. I'm going to select I'm a coach. I'm going to select high school. All right, at this point, I've submitted that form. I'm going to go grab that email so we can create my account. Okay, at this point, I'm going to accept that invite from WrestlingIQ. Okay, at this point, we have a step-by-step setup wizard here. So there's a few things that we need to do before you can invite your team. The first thing is you need to decide if you're going to collect any additional information about your parents and wrestlers. For wrestlers, this depends a lot on what your school IT department wants you to collect and what you need from wrestlers. Very common, we see emergency contact. We also see for high school teams in particular sizing information. So I'm going to add a quick section here that says t-shirt size and do a drop down and just fill this out real quick. You should fill this out with whatever you have. Maybe it's women's, boys sizes as well. That's just an example. I'm going to click save here. Next up, if there's any information from parents you want when parents sign in, usually we see phone numbers is what's asked for here. I'm going to save that. Next, if you've got any forms to sign, sometimes schools want you to do an e-sign liability form. If your school doesn't do that, you can also still require a signature on something like a code of conduct. All right, so now when anyone signs up, they'll have to sign that code of conduct and it'll be stored in the system. Anywhere. At this point, you have a team sign up link. So you can either use this sign up link, which is here, or if you have a spreadsheet, you could also do an import here. We have a spreadsheet template and everything for you. That will create invites automatically. This is a special join URL you can send to people to create parent and wrestler accounts. And I'm going to show you what this looks like as a parent now. All right, so I pulled up that team join URL on this iPad or on this iPhone here. And this is what it looks like for wrestlers and parents. So if you're a wrestler, you would tap here and fill out information. If the wrestler's already in the system, so you added them to the roster for some reason, they would be able to select their name and claim that account if they match their birthday. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you what it looks like as a parent. So let's start there. My wrestlers not on this list, so I'm going to add them here. If your wrestler is under 13, we have special Child Online Protective Acts guidelines here that requires parent confirmation and parent managing of the account. I'm going to demo this as a parent of a teen user, so 13 and 17 with high school range. But if you have any questions about that stuff, please email us or walk through that flow yourself. Next, I'm going to create my parent account. So you can see, yep, that's me, kind of ready. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to set a password here. And now as a parent, this is the information requested from them in the beginning. So I'll put in my information here. Additional information needed for Freddie, like emergency contact and t-shirt sizes. Okay, this is the code of contact I also need to sign. And now I'm in. So at this point as a parent, they're in, they've added their system, the wrestler to the team. If I, as a parent, want to, I can explicitly invite a parent or guardian here. That will send them an email invite, or that other parent or guardian can go through the join link as well. I can invite Freddie to have an account login as well. This will be Freddie's email address here. And as a parent and wrestler, almost all people download the app so they can get team messages, team calendar, and more there. We've got a few wrestlers in here. I can actually run a report about who has joined recently. And you can see I've got a couple there. I don't have any wrestlers who have pure logins yet, but we can see all that. Next steps here, generally speaking, you as a coach are going to create rosters. So maybe there's a 2026 roster, maybe there's a varsity roster. You can add a depth chart if you want. We'll go ahead and add a couple people here. And just for the weight chart, you can set weight classes here. So if you want to actually build a roster that's like your actual true roster, you can do that. Next up, what you'll want to do is fill out your calendar. This should be your practices, your tournaments, all of that stuff. The other last tip I'm going to show you is on messaging. What you probably want to do is create what we call roster synced groups. So if you master only one thing as a coach here, it's that rosters are the key automation point in WrestlingIQ. So maintain your rosters really well. Name it 2026, 2027, 2028, whatever year it is, varsity, JV, whatever you want. And then when you create a group, you can actually sync that with the varsity. So what we see a lot of teams do is they might have a group for the varsity, and sometimes it's wrestlers and parents. A lot of times they'll say wrestlers and parents or wrestlers only, and then also a varsity parents group, which is parents only, which I'll do here. And now this synced roster means that anytime I add a wrestler to this roster, that messaging group syncs those parents correctly. That is all for this quick demo. The only other thing I'll mention is the WrestlingIQ kiosk. So once you get into attendance, you probably want to be looking at our kiosk app, which you can find information about here. That's a different app available on the App Store for checking in on attendance. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.